Okay, Dick Poofall,
Yes.
Mike Berlin,
Yes.
Clarence Campbell,
Yes.
Bill Metzinger,
Yes.
Marty Vitek,
Yes.
I'll make a motion that as a result of our performance review of the county administrator, that we enter into negotiations with the county administrator to renew his contract when it expires in September.
I'll second that. The motion made by Clarence Campbell to renew the contract and go into negotiations with Dan Grady. And motion was made by Clarence and seconded by Mike Berlin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do that. Okay, discussion.
Next meeting date. What next meeting date?
Hmm?
Next meeting date.
Next meeting date.
Yeah. Motion with number 7 was already taken care of, but just now.
Clarence, did you suggest that we go into negotiations now?
No. No, it has to be a different agenda completely.
After
It has
what?
to be on at a new meeting date when it's on the agenda. We
Right.
can't do it now because it's not on the agenda.
So your contract expires September
24.
24th. Okay. So, we do not need to take this motion to the county board then.
Not yet, no.
Okay. So it says next meeting date, May 16th.
We have a bunch of other stuff for that meeting. But if the May 16th, you guys have conflicts, we can move the date certainly.
What day is May 16th?
It's a Tuesday, yeah.
Is there something that needs to be done right away, or should we wait a little bit? Will we have more problems?
Oh, well, we have a few things on the calendar, but it's nothing that can't wait a few weeks if you want. We're just trying to set a more regular timing for meetings.
That's what this is.
Yeah. So, and so we have it scheduled for May 16th unless this committee wants to change the date. That's all, because I know some of you have conflicts.
Fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll set it for May 16th. An agenda will go out next week.
And that executive committee meets on this.
Yeah, the executive committee meets on the 16th, and then just for point of reference for everyone.
And that will be for the contract negotiation.
That'll be, well, I have a bunch of stuff for there on that one.
Will contract be negotiations?
I could put it on there, yeah. Yes, so exec is the 16th, finance is the 25th. The 26th, for anybody who's interested, is the Lake Superior Science Center at Bad River. They'll be hosting that. Yeah, I sent you an email, actually. I sent you the invite. So that'll be at Bad River on the 26th.
I kind of missed that. What is the 26th?
There's gonna be a Lake Superior Science Center meeting. That'll be
Meeting.
Lake Superior Science Center. So that's gonna be a group of people around here plus the tribe. And planning to try to get a science center opened up on the lake. And that's one of the cooperative issues we're working with on the tribe, with the tribe. Yeah, that's the 26th of the Science Center. And then our county tribal meeting will be June 15th. And that's on the calendar too.
If we wanted to put something on the agenda, is that going to be open? How do we get something placed on the agenda?
For which for a county committee?
Yeah, for
Just
the
a-
executive or,
Yeah, just let
you
me know.
know, a few years back, our chairman came up with an idea about putting a boat here. You know, a ship and having tours, you know, and a permanent thing, you know, and I don't know if it ever went anyplace. It just kind of died. And I thought that was a really good idea for tourists. And when you get to Ashland, you know, you might go out and eat and stuff and, but they have some draw to come. And I just, you know, he's on the city council and you know, is that something that we still be interested in? Is it up to us to try to push it? If we're really fired up about it,
Yeah.
you know?
If we want, and I think that would be a finance committee item, because we're talking about economic development there.
One of the problems we have with that, and I'm the one that brought it up. I talked to the owner of the boats, and he's all excited about it. Problem being, we'd have to decide where we would put it here, where the public could park. And the Ordock is a perfect place for the ship to leave from. There's no place to park. So that wouldn't work. The other docks, can we use them? They still belong to the is it Reese that owns the
I think so.
coal docks? The only one we have access to is right down by the pizza pub. That old coal dock there. And I don't know. To get onto a small boat, that dock is pretty high. I don't know if that will work or not, so I guess if we're gonna pursue this, I can get a hold of the gentleman that owns this company and maybe have him come over here and look and see what would work for him. But I think that's, you know, you're absolutely right, Bill. People come to Ashland from Twin Cities, from Chicago, from all over the place. And they stay at a motel here because there's not enough accommodations in Bayfield or Washburn. And then they go over there for an island cruise. Well, what the hell? You can do it right here.
Yeah, and
I think it just makes sense.
yeah, and I guess, you know, you've talked about it. That was the best idea you've came up with. You know, I really,
The only one.
you know, I said the best. I really was fired up about that but it doesn't seem like anybody's doing anything. And I'm wondering, is it the county should take the lead and then kind of push the city into it and, you know, and seeing you're on both but I just hate to see it, you know, it's already past 2-3 years and nothing's been talked about or anything. And if it would be up to this committee, it's not up to this committee, it's up to the finance then. Well, I'd like to at least explore something to try to, you know, get the ball rolling. And you're on both this county and the city and, you know, I think that's definitely a plus.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Mr. Mike, do you mind if I put it on exec committee?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's good.
And then we can put it on finance also, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was surprised. I'm glad you brought that up because that's wow, like one of those, some of the things that being brought up just dies in the wind. It just, it's gone. So, yeah, we need more of that. We need more of that.
okay, so I'll put that on the next exec committee agenda. And the finance committee. Well,
Meantime, our chairperson can look into it a
Oh,
little.
exactly. I'll
Okay,
make a call today.
excellent. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I know Sherman Edwards is one of the captains that runs those boats. He's a good friend of mine. And he's super close with the owner of the company. So I'll call him this afternoon and see if we can get going. And I think it's a good idea for him to come over here and look at what kind of facilities we have. And I don't know that where the old coal dock down behind the city hall, we don't have access to it. That's gated. They've shot fireworks off but when the fireworks were over, they locked the gate again. So besides that dock is kind of beat up.
Well,
It's just too bad that when they started spending these millions of dollars on the damn Ordock and $1 million for a walkway out to the end of the Ordock, which goes nowhere. They should have taken half of their quarter of that money and built a really nice parking lot and facility with restrooms on shore. Because you can't build on the dock. And I don't know that that was even considered. Sarah doesn't listen to me, so.
you know, if we ever did get a ship here, we'd be taking a lot more income in. And so we would be getting, you know, it would, down the long run, hopefully it would pay for itself or at least break even.
Oh, sure.
And, you know, the tourists, if the more tourists you get here, they love to eat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so if nothing else, we would strengthen the downtown and the food business.
Mhm. All right. Any more discussion? Mike?
This kind of goes parallel with what we had talked about at the last finance meeting. I had brought it up that, ever since I've been on the board and on the finance committee, when we talk about finance budget, this and that. And right now, we have some momentum going with Mike and Steve, our consultants. I mentioned it just today that Mike has already, and Steve has presented the first quarter report to the finance committee. And then I kind of brought up, that here in it says Ashland County Finance and Economic Development. We've not talked about economic development ever since I've been on the committee. So, like I just indicated, this is something that's going parallel with the Finance Economic Development Committee. I even reached out and says, hey, at the next meeting, let's make sure that we have an economic development agenda item on that. At the next meeting, and this what got me fired up was I was to understand that Fleet Farm was gonna move in the area. They come over here, looked at Ashland, they're gonna supposedly gonna build out here in Bayfield County over by Ashland Park. And gee, wow, if we can, Ashland County can partner up with, say, the city of Ashland. And we've got something no one else has. And you just brought it up. We got the lake out here. Let's bring a boat in here. And that's been brought up like 3-4 years ago, a while ago. And we need to redo, we need to develop Ashland, because when people come here, what do? They stay in a hotel. They got to try to find a restaurant. And this is something that we can hopefully help bring or establish or rekindle our restaurant base here in Ashland, because we need restaurants. We don't have, we got Family Restaurant on here is the only one going. You got a Breakwater serves till 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
Then, of course, we got Deepwater over here and we got some of the bars. For the village or the city of our population, it's not enough. We need more. Obviously, we can see that. At any rate, I've gone as far as asking for the amount of money that we give AADC, Carver Harris over there. What are they doing for the county? What are they, and the amount of money that we give Northwest Regional Planning, what are they doing for us? Well, they're not putting no buildings, they're not doing this, this, and this, but they did a study, they give us some paper. That's not quite acceptable. At our next finance economic development meeting, they are being asked and they've committed to come to our next finance meeting. So that we can kind of, as a matter of fact, who was it? Someone that had brought up, maybe it was Laura Negro or whoever, that we have a plan. And they said, well, we can dig this plan up, dust it off and see where we were going to go. I don't know how old this plan is, or you.
It needs to be updated in 25.
We need to take a look at this and see where we're going to go, what we want to do. So I think I got these guys in here. I like what you're bringing up.
I just like to comment on, I wish we had some grant money or, whatever type of money that we could get to help push this along. And if Carver could do that, or the county try to see what's available out there that we could get, so that, you know, that we could push this thing along, and tourism is going to keep growing. It's not just, you know, a one-time shot.
Oh, here's where this came from, okay? Because on the last agenda for the Finance Economic Development, I'm looking to hire, or I'm looking to do a position for a grant writer. And I'm being told that all of our managers here for our programs, they write their own grants, but those are reoccurring grants. There's nothing new coming into the county. I'm looking for a grant writer, kind of what Carver Harris and what Northwest Regional Planning does. But our own people to bring new money in here. That's what I'm looking for. We need to stir the pot up and do something.
All right.
All the surrounding counties, all winter long, I've been watching Bayfield County over here. They got things going on every weekend someplace in Bayfield County, not Ashland County.
Yeah.
We're missing a boat.
Listen, we're getting a little bit off the beaten path here, and I agree with what you're saying. We definitely should have a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, and we have Sheldon Johnson's coming from Northwest Regional Planning to our next finance meeting. That's a good question for him. Can we get money for economic development research or whatever? I have a lot of ideas as far as economic development goes. We have to get together with the chamber. What I would suggest is that the chamber get together with the Chamber of Commerce in Hayward and see what the hell they're doing. I mean, you go down there and all the businesses are full every day that they're open. Well, anyway, we're really off the beaten path now.
All right, so I'll put economic development in general as an agenda item on executive committee
Yes.
also.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can talk about any issue that relates to economic development, and we'll just keep it for every meeting. And that way both committees can keep looking at it. Does that sound reasonable?
All right, anything else pertaining to what we came here for? If not, a motion to adjourn would be in order. You make a motion, Mike? Okay, motion by Mike Berlin to adjourn, seconded by Marty Vitek. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Thanks for coming, guys.